If you're going into this film hoping to find Shakespeare, you're better off going to watch Godzilla Minus One because this film definitely begs you to check your brain at the door. So, Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire is the newest film in the Legendary Pictures MonsterVerse, starring Godzilla, starring Kong, starring absolute monster mayhem in this MonsterVerse that they've created over there. And this is pretty much what you expect going into a MonsterVerse movie now, especially after the last Godzilla versus Kong film. A lot of monster smashy, and a lot of human drama that's not that interesting. And that's where this film franchise is kind of sitting right now. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. I enjoyed myself. I had a good time watching this movie. It is big, dumb, action fun. And I think it's what a lot of people want out of just going to the theater. And there's nothing wrong with that. Uh, for me, I love big, dumb action spectacle. And while it delivers all that, it still isn't quite hitting the mark when it comes to the drama, to the stuff to kind of keep me emotionally invested. As much as, like, I love everything with Kong. When they focus on Kong, it is great. And I wish, like, why isn't this just the main focus? But we have to have these human characters. And don't get me wrong, these human characters aren't terrible. Like, Rebecca Hall does a really good job. I feel like she committed really, really hard to this film. She was kind of giving it her all, it seemed. Got Brian Tyree Henry returning. He's still fun. And then they bring in Dan Stevens, who I like a lot. I like him in everything I've seen him in. He's great in this. He's a fun character, does a lot of goofy stuff. All for it. He's got a whole gimmick. I won't spoil what it is, but let's just say it gives the movie an 80s vibe, and I could see what they were going for. Now, Adam Wingard is the director again of this. He did the last Kong versus Godzilla, or Godzilla versus Kong, and I thought he did a great job for being another big dumb punch 'em up monster movie. I thought that was great. And while I didn't give that like a super high score, I still had a great time, and I still watched that movie with a lot of fun. I have a blast watching it. I rewatch clips of scenes from that all the time, and this one I thought I'd get the same. Unfortunately, bogged down by just the story for the humans, which I was like, what? A lot of it doesn't really make sense, and it probably stinks because I had such a great time with the Monarch series on Apple TV Plus. I feel like that fleshed out this world that these films take place in, and kind of getting an idea of how the Monarch organization runs. And when you see Monarch in the film, I'm like, what kind of decisions are we making here? What? None of this makes any sense. And I'm sure a lot of people won't think of it like that, but I just feel like there's a lot of weird things that they did. Because like when they go to the Hollow Earth, they really don't take a team that should be well equipped to handle traveling to this land, and I don't know. It just felt like they just would send anybody, and I don't know. That kind of took me out of it just a little bit, but it also made me go, "It's fine. Check your brain at the door. Don't think about it too hard." So I kept reminding myself going back and forth. This is Kong's movie. Let's just put it out there. This is Kong's movie with Godzilla as a guest star in it, essentially. And I'm okay with that. I think I'm digging this version of Kong more than I'm digging this version of Godzilla. As much as I like this version of Godzilla, I was having such a good time with this. And there is a point where I felt like even at under 2 hours, this film is a little long. I was kind of getting bored at the end, even though that third act action set piece is a lot of fun and very, very, colorful, and it just does everything that you want out. It gives you everything you want out of this type of movie. By that point, I was like, man, we've gone so long. We drudged through so much of the human story crap that I don't care. But, the Kong stuff is great. The Godzilla stuff is interesting, but there's not enough there for me to really feel like we could, get into what's going on with Godzilla. You kind of just get a couple little nuggets, and it's like, he's just doing this. Okay. And then they have a bunch of other monsters in here. I don't want to spoil anything for those who don't know anything about this movie, but there are some other classic Godzilla monsters that make appearances in this, and I'm all here for it. So let's talk about the bad guy here, the Scar King. I think he's a great villain. Very interesting, this guy. It's really cool how they even get the creatures to emote, especially Kong and Scar King. They do a lot more emoting than normal than a lot of these other monsters, so it's really interesting to see them kind of interact, and you're kind of piecing together what's being said, what's being demanded while they're either fighting or they're ordering other uh, giant apes around. I don't know. I could probably watch a whole movie of that with no dialogue and probably just piece together what they're trying to do. In the trailers, you saw there's a little mini Kong. He's a little something else, and one of my favorite scenes involves him getting the crap kicked out of him. It was pretty funny. That's all I'll say. That scene right there cracked me up. But look, overall, if you're going into this knowing it's going to be a big, dumb, fun movie, then you're going to have a great time. If you're looking for more Godzilla -1, I think you'll be a little disappointed. At the end of the day, I got to give this film a C minus. Again, I didn't hate it. I'd go see this again. I saw it in IMAX. I thought it was great. Like I said, I had a good time until it felt like it dragged it at the end. Even at under 2 hours, that's what gets me. It was an under 2 hour film. I thought it was paced well at the beginning, and it kind of slows down as it goes. But other than that, you know, I know that the score is really low uh, for saying I enjoyed this movie. C minus. Look, it's a little bit below average. The monster stuff definitely does outweigh the human stuff, and it's just there's not enough monster stuff for me to get it higher up there. So that is what it is. What do you guys think? Are you big Godzilla fans, Kong fans? What team are you on? Let me know in the comments below. And if you guys could, please hit that like button, subscribe button, the little bell notification to be notified whenever I drop new videos. It would be greatly appreciated. And yeah, guys, until the next review or show, whatever I've been doing, I've been doing a weekly show now where I talk to friends about movies. It's been a lot of fun. I don't know who my guest will be this week, but we'll see what happens. And until then, guys, I'll be seeing you.